previous video you saw us burying all the concrete that we managed to dig out of the bank, and then using 10 tonne of stone we backfilled the wall 1 metre deep for the whole 15 metres of the wall.
Hi, we're Ian and Julie. Follow us on our tiny homestead and our debt-free project of a lifetime, the building of a home here in the Pyrenees, and all of this alongside our full-time jobs.
Good morning, we are back. It's been a few days since we did the stones as well now, because we were hoping for some dry days, but the last couple of days have just absolutely thrown it down with rain, which has made all of this area a bit sloppy, but we can't keep putting it off anymore. We need to set the site out for the house because we need to book in the big digger driver. We're not going to do this with our own equipment. The guy that did the garage, we're going to get him back, but we haven't booked him in yet, and it could be next week or it could be next month. But I need to get the house all set out to know what levels he's got to dig down to and where he's got to dig. So we need to move the concrete mixer and the trailer, tidy all this up. But really, the wall is looking great. We had a lot of comments about, you know, the how it being cold and not very good temperatures for concrete. Realistically, it wasn't that cold. It had frozen. It was a ground frost when we were doing it, and it looked freezing. But as soon as that sun comes up, this block wall, the sun just heats it up within 10-20 minutes. But it's looking pretty good. So this gravel, this stone here has just changed the whole demeanour of this bank. Where this bank looked massive before, it just doesn't look anything now. So that'll be the next project after setting the house out. But let's get that done now.
Push it up.
Yeah.
You all right? Be easier then. Oh, go on then. Okay.
Alright, so
I've got my pin in my pocket now. Hey.
I'm going to bring him, you push him up.
Push it.
Okay.
You all right?
Yeah. Now, can you take that weight there? Can you hold him there? All right. Don't push. Just hold him there, and I'm going to move this around the other side. That's all.
And I bet I'm in the way. You all right?
Yeah.
Just put my hand in all the grease.
You should put this in first.
Knew that was a chore. It's the first time we've dismantled this beast of a concrete mixer on site. So the plan is now, with the aid of the little dumper here, the little Delix dumper, we're going to attempt to move it somewhere over towards the bank and the breeze blocks, just to get it out of the way of where the actual house layout's going to be. Right, that worked well.
Yeah. Now we need to do the reverse. Put the feet back in. Let's just see if it moves.
You stay here, Floki. Floki. See, the problem we have with this trailer, it has a brake, so we really struggle sometimes moving him. That went really well.
Let's put that bit of wood in. I'll keep this up high, you see.
Yep.
Well, that worked a lot easier than last time, basically because we took the brake off this. But the trouble with this trailer, it does have a brake. So when you're pushing it, which means it's in reverse, the brake comes on because it's activated by the tow hitch. So it's easy, okay, just pushing it back that little bit here. But when I'm trying to push it uphill, which it's easier to push the trailers, but this one has the brake on, so I have to pull. And pulling it is, God, it's tiring. Where my son's lighter trailer you've seen in previous videos, that's zero brake and you just push it and it's so much easier. Right, that is the site cleared. I didn't have to use the skid, which is great. So I'm going to get that out the way, and now we are going to start setting the house out, which is pretty exciting. Right, when we're setting out the house, we've got to remember we've got this constraint of this building line here, this diagonal, and this is part of the plot here has building permission and is allowed construction. This side of the plot is agricultural, and we can build like a greenhouse or a small shed or something like that, a field shelter for animals, but we can't build a residential property. So from this line, we have to be 3 meters to the corner of the house. So this is constraint number 1. The second constraint is this brand new wall here. So, but luckily we're going to parallel the house from this wall, so it's a perfect datum to start with, as well as our corner wall here. So that is parallel with the garage, and the new wall is basically linear with the garage. So 2 meters. So first things first, we're trying to get a parallel where the house is going to sit away from this wall, and we think we can actually push it back another 50 centimeters, which makes that 2 meters, which is a much better distance. So we've got a pole, parallel with that, 2 meters.
There's 180, 90, do.
So there.
You helping, folks?
There. That will give us the parallel line. A, B, C, D. Okay, so the diagonal is going to be 12.349 to 6, round him up. Now it's a square house, so that should be the same both ways. So now we need to get those other pins the other side, just to make sure it doesn't hit that diagonal red line. So I've got Julie on 1 tape measure, and I've just hooked them round the 2 corner posts of where the house will be, and now a bit of trigonometry.
The diagonal?
Yeah. So I have got 10.868, 10.8, so yeah, there. That is going to be the corner of the house. No, that is 260. 260. No good.
Got to go in 1/2 metre, do you think, just to be on the safe?
We'll have to go back to where we were, yeah.
Yeah.
It's either that or we move it that way.
Forward.
If we moved it, so if that was, I don't know, forward 1/2 metre, that diagonal, now where would we have to be? So if that's
Parallel to the...
forward 1 metre, is there. That leaf there. And then that would be, yeah, that's exactly 3 meters there.
So go forward 1/2 metre.
So if we stayed 2 meters from the wall,
Yeah,
moved it 1 meter that way.
yeah.
Well, I think we just changed our minds yet again. We're going to bring the house 1/2 meter towards the wall, because moving it backwards, we lose a view over to the Col de Tourmalet and the big cathedral. So there's a tree in the way. If we went and cut that tree down, it wouldn't matter where we put it. But
Well, actually, we had planned for this gap here to be 1.5 metres, and we've extended it to 2 metres.
yeah, and the only reason for that is my worry that we're digging close to our foundations here. Here's the new one. So now if I get my tape measure and come to there, that post. So that, no, don't hold it like that. Hold it. No, but you always screw it up in your hand.
That's all right, I've got
Loosely with your thumb.
I'm not going to touch it if you're going to move.
Okay, so that's 310.
Go straight.
No, no, this is perpendicular to this. It doesn't matter
Oh,
if
so
it.
we've got more than enough
Yeah,
then.
310.
Oh, perfect.
That's perfect.
No,
I think that's how we designed it.
yeah.
Right. So the next stage is getting the levels. So let's get an idea of where. This is going to be my datum one. Where are we? You get out of the way of the
Oh,
laser.
sorry. Yeah. Going to be higher than you think. Oh,
Yeah. Okay, so that's my datum. Yeah, so if I come down, so that's all the measuring done. I'm going to get back onto the computer, get onto SketchUp and get it all on a drawing, and then I can send it off to the digger guy and he can give me a quote. But it's not as bad as we thought, because we're coming up a block to grade by the wall is, that's another 20 centimeters. So the deepest we have to dig is 83 centimeters, with, you know, under a meter. And that is basically a cheese wedge out to 0. So I don't think there's going to be a huge amount of soil or work, but I'm going to leave it to the professional digger guy, because he'll get it dead flat, nice and straight. And then what I'll probably do is get a load of OSB and make sure I shutter the deep end, the deepest end, by the wall, because that'll probably be like that for a while as we build the ICF walls, put the drainage in, and then we can backfill once the concrete's been put in. So, right, I'm going to get back and get all this drawn up. We'll see you tomorrow.
we've had a long day up on the plot, marking out, ready for the digger man to come. It's getting dark now, so it's time to go and get old Mr. Tyson from the field and bring him home.
Right, another job I've got to get done is cut off all of these rebars so it's nice and flush. So Julie is just going off to the builders merchants yet again, and we're ordering the flat caps. I'll show you one in a minute. We have one as an example. The pads that are going to sit on top of this, because we want to actually finish this part of the wall off so we can carry on and put the fabric on top of the bank. I thought I had some decent discs, but I'm using these cheap rubbish discs. Most of the stuff Parkside stuff is good, but oh, these are rubbish. Look at it. I've gone through 4 already and I'm not even hit. Absolute trash. I'll go and see if I can find some better ones. And some I thought I had a pack. These will do the job. Just put on a surface grinding disc. I've never used one before. Eat through the battery. Right, I'm going to get another battery, but that seems to work. I'll get a mask as well. Done not too bad a job actually. Just looking down here whether I want to do anything on the sides. I might just take a little bit out here. That's good. So this is the capping stone we're going to use. Now it's all flat. So it's got little drip edges underneath. So we're going to come about 1 centimetre away from the drip edge. So Julie's got something to render up to. But basically that's what it's going to be. Just like that, Julie returns. It's quite exciting that we're actually starting marking out for the house. So the meeting with the digger guy went pretty well. He's been to this site before, but basically when nothing was here. And yeah, we just compared this drone footage from when we first bought the plot and started the groundworks with our little mini digger. And yeah, it's just transformed.
He didn't recognise it here at all.
And how much he actually had dug down. So he's doing it for the same price as he did the garage, which is good news. He's coming the first week of March, basically because we're away at the end of this month for Rally Monte Carlo. So he also said it will be a bit drier. But it's given us 4 weeks now to get a little bit more prepared and to get rid of some of this soil.
Another point from our meeting with the digger guy, I was totally under the impression that we'd just have enough soil to build this area up by 1 metre. Yeah, I've totally underestimated. The digger guy, when I was showing him, he was like, no, it's going to come to here. We're going to have this volume of soil. So another little project we really must get done is tidy the site. We've got quite a collection of pallets and scrap wood, so we're going to have a bonfire to clear this area, and a job that we have been putting off for a good year now. We've got a stack of curbstones, and this is something we really must get done. We're going to form a pathway here, around here, that will frame my vegetable garden. So then that will allow us to offload some of the soil onto this area, because obviously we need to raise this. We've started raising it here, but at the moment we don't have any soil. So the project came to an end. Now we can concentrate on finishing this area off, forming our pathway and looking a bit smarter here.
So another thing, we're going to take advantage of his large digger and dig. He's going to dig this 2 metre square, 2 metre deep hole, and that's going to be our soak away. So I'm putting this in now, and then I'll put a manhole, as I said, I think I said earlier, in readiness for all our drainage from the house. So that's the French drainage and possibly the rain gutter drainage. But that depends if we put another tank in. We've got so much water rain collection already. I'm not sure we need much more, but we'll decide that at a later date. So this hole will be dug out, and I'm going to use those spare blocks that we moved earlier for part of that soakaway. I've got a plan for that. The soil that's going to come out of this 2 meter cube again is going to be quite a lot. And the guy said basically earth doubles in size from its compact in the ground to when you take it out of the ground and it all crumbles up. So we have to keep that in mind. But we're going to try and store that around here somewhere, giving us paths through here to access for the plot. But also this soil is going to go eventually over here, because we've got to raise that up by a couple of feet, probably 50 centimeters, something like that, to the level of the decking. But we can't do that until we've got it all in place. So we're going to have lumps of soil around the site for a little while. Well, there is a lot to plan. I've got to get my drawing paper out and my pencil. We've got all of these foundations to sort out, plus the house itself. And we've got meetings booked with the house supplier. So for me, yeah, it's back at the desk again, plus getting my hands dirty with the concrete for these curbstones.
And I'll be project managing him, but no, it's just so, for us, this is so exciting. We've been busy concentrating on phase 1 of this build project, getting all the garage workshop built, all the hard landscaping infrastructure, drains, walls, all the horrible, hard, ugly stuff, to actually be moving to phase 2, which is the exciting part of this project that we've never been able to get too excited about, because it's always felt too far away.
And now it's jumped right on us. So,
yeah. So we've got levels that we can work from, and that means we can progress now onto phase 2. Please stay with us during this part of the journey, because we're truly excited. We can't contain ourselves.
We will see you next week. We're planning also for our upcoming rally, the Rally Monte Carlo, so lots happening there. But we'll see you next week in the next video.
See you then.